Okay, this is multi-step equations number 2. And we're just going to do a quick review because I've been over this before. First step you have to do when you're solving an equation is always set your windows. So what I'm going to do here is show you one more time. If your calculator has been cleared, this is what your Windows settings should look like. And we want to change that to negative 100. X maximum is 100. We're going to go and leave our XSCL at 1. We're going to put Y minimum at negative 100. And then we are going to put Y maximum at 100. The rest we're going to not change. And then we're going to push second and quit, which is the mode key. Now, if for some reason you have to reset your calculator after you do an equation, you always have to go back in and set your windows. So remember that the windows have to be set in order for you to get answers that are somewhere between negative 100 and 100. All right? Remember the steps are on the back of your yellow chart and your orange chart. One thing that I have had students getting a little bit confused on that we will talk about for a second is if the first one is on the left. In other words, if this, you're used to seeing equations only that look like this, okay? And so when it flips, you get worried or concerned about it. Don't be concerned about it. You just treat it like you do, Y1, Y2. It does not matter which side goes under Y1, which side goes under Y2. If you were to happen to use Y2 and Y3, that would be acceptable. It's going to be just fine. That part of it is not as sensitive. The main thing you have to get down is when do you use a negative sign and when do you use a subtract sign. And I'm going to go over just a couple of them with you today. Remember, when it is on the outside or in front, I guess, of something is what I want to say, you use a negative sign. Okay? So on number 2, that negative 6 is there, and then you have a subtract 2, so you use your subtract sign. Okay? So even though this doesn't look like it's out front, okay, because it's next to a negative, next to an equal sign, if I was to cover this up, the equal sign, in the first part, the first expression, now you can see that that negative is out front, and so therefore that is a negative, and this is a subtract. So if you need to do that, that can help you. Trying to see if there's any other ones that might see right here. If it's out front, this is number 12 at the bottom. I cover up that equal sign. Oops, I can't see it because I have it too low. Let me pull it up. Number 12. If I cover up to the equal sign, and I'm sorry my computer is going in and out of focus. Let me get it to lock the focus here. Okay. And that should do better. And anyway, so then that is out front. So it is a negative sign. Okay? That is what's going to mess you up the most. Let's look at the back and see if there's anything interesting here. For the most part, okay, now I'm going to show you, let's look at number 14. Okay, on number 14, I know that this is within an expression. So before I said, okay, cover up the equal sign, okay, and then if it's out front, then it's a negative. Within the expression, okay, this is in the middle because you don't just cover up the parentheses. I know that's confusing, but within the expression, that side of the equation, this is in the middle. So it is a subtract sign. Okay, let's go along and see if I see anything else that might create havoc for you. Some of these are going to create havoc for some of you. Miss Moon's class that uses the alpha is probably better off than my class. I'm going to say again, remember to put those parentheses in. If you don't use parentheses around your fractions, it will not work out correctly. So make sure you do that. For my crew, Miss Moon's crew that uses alpha, you will be okay. Just put it in as you see it, and you will be fine. I want to say that all the answers on this equations number 2 are whole numbers, except number 20. So let's circle number 20, just so we remember that one is not a whole number. You're going to get a decimal answer on number 20. Okay? So we'll put a little star by it because it'll be a little bit different. I'm going to do one with you, and I guess I'm going to do one over here. Okay? So let's just, for simplification, let's do number 2. And what we have here, I have my windows set. I'm going to double check them. And yes, they are. Second and quit. So I am going to look at my steps on my chart. And it says, and I'm going to fold this over just because I don't have very much room here underneath this camera. Okay. It says number 2. It says first we do, and you can still do this if you'd like. So you're under Y1, Y2. Okay, and I'm going to do Y, hit my Y equals, enter the first part or the first expression, which is negative 6x. You always use x no matter what the variable is. Subtract 2x, and then I'm going to go to Y2, and I'm going to enter the second part of the equation, which is 16, the second part, and then I'm going to hit graph. I'm going to wait till I see 2 lines come up. Some of you, those will be colored lines. My classes, you have calculators that just do black. Okay, and so then I've got my 2 lines, and then it says push second key, trace, which is right here next to graph, and we want the intersection, so we want 5, and enter, 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 and it'll say intersection, not anything else, and my intersection is where x is equal to negative 2. Okay, if it has a 0 here, then that's all you put in under Y1. Okay, so this one you would just put that 0 in, and Y2 is here. We need to talk about number 7. Okay, number 7 is something that you will not see in 8th grade math. You'll see it in algebra. And if I was to do this by hand, I've got negative 10 is equal to negative 14b plus 14b. Negative 14 and plus 14 actually equals 0. Okay? And so then I've got 0 is equal to negative 10. Is that a true statement? No, it is not. It is a false statement. So we call that as no solution. But we only have this one that's like that on here. Somehow it slipped in. You will never see that in 8th grade math. You will always have a solution. So 7, just write no solution, and then you'll get credit for that one, no problem. Okay? I hope you have a great day, and we will get this done and be doing my 5s today, okay? All right. Bye.